I've learned over the years that one of the biggest fears I face as someone with health anxiety is the fear of movement itself. I can't tell you how many times I've worried that if I exercise too hard, I'll hurt myself, strain a joint, or trigger some hidden health problem. And yet at the same time, I also know that not moving at all is far worse. Sitting still, staying sedentary, and letting my muscles and joints get weaker only feeds my anxiety and makes me feel fragile. So today I want to talk about something that has really changed my relationship with exercise: joint-friendly workouts. These are the kinds of exercises that keep my body strong without making me feel like I'm risking injury, and they've been a huge tool for reducing my health anxiety overall. When I first started looking into joint-friendly workouts, I was surprised by how many options there actually are. Like many people, I thought exercise had to mean pounding the pavement while running or jumping around in some high-intensity class. But those types of workouts can be hard on the joints, especially the knees, hips, and shoulders. What I've discovered is that there are ways to move my body that build strength, improve flexibility, and boost cardiovascular health, all without putting unnecessary stress on my joints. And the best part? Because I know I'm protecting my joints, I can exercise with less fear, which takes a huge weight off my mind. The first joint-friendly workout I want to highlight is swimming. Now, I don't swim every day, but whenever I get the chance, it's like therapy for both my body and my brain. Water supports your weight, so your joints don't take the pounding they do on land. At the same time, moving through water gives your muscles resistance, which helps build strength. Even something as simple as walking back and forth in the shallow end of a pool is enough to get your blood flowing. And if I'm honest, one of the best parts of swimming for me is the calming effect it has on my anxious mind. The rhythmic movement of the water and the controlled breathing remind me of meditation. Another form of joint-friendly exercise that has made a huge difference for me is cycling, especially on a stationary bike. I'll admit, I was nervous about it at first, worrying about straining my knees. But when I started at a slow pace with little resistance, I realized that cycling actually strengthens the muscles around the knees, which in turn protects them. It's low impact, and it gets my heart rate up in a way that makes me feel alive instead of fragile. And because I'm on a stationary bike, I don't have to worry about balance or accidents, which keeps my anxiety from spiking. Walking is another one of my go-to workouts. It's simple, it's accessible, and it's surprisingly joint-friendly when done on even ground and in supportive shoes. At first, I used to underestimate walking, thinking it wasn't real exercise. But the more I read and the more I practiced, the more I realized how powerful it can be. Walking improves circulation, helps maintain a healthy weight, and boosts mood, all while keeping the joints moving in a natural, fluid way. I find that when I walk outside in nature, it doubles as stress relief. The act of moving forward, breathing deeply, and soaking in the environment helps calm the storm of anxious thoughts that often swirl in my head. Strength training also has a place in a joint-friendly workout plan, but the key is to do it the right way. I used to avoid lifting weights altogether, afraid I'd drop a dumbbell on my foot or tear a muscle. But then I learned that using lighter weights with more repetitions can build strength without putting too much strain on the joints. Resistance bands have been a lifesaver for me too. They provide enough tension to work the muscles, but with a gentle, controlled range of motion. Strength training is important because stronger muscles support the joints, making injuries less likely. Knowing that I'm building this kind of protection helps me feel more confident and less anxious about the possibility of something going wrong. Yoga and Pilates are two other joint-friendly workouts that I've grown to love. Yoga, in particular, helps me stretch and strengthen while also calming my mind. At first, I worried that some of the poses might be too much for my body, but I quickly discovered that yoga is adaptable. There's no need to force myself into complicated positions. Even gentle stretches and breathing exercises make a difference. Pilates, meanwhile, focuses on core strength, which supports posture and relieves strain on the back and hips. Both practices help me feel more in tune with my body, and that body awareness actually lessens my health anxiety. Instead of panicking at every small sensation, I learn to listen to my body in a calmer, more constructive way. One of the most surprising things I've found is how beneficial water aerobics can be. I used to picture it as something only older people did, but when I tried it, I realized how much fun it can be. The water cushions every movement, making it incredibly joint-friendly, but the exercises themselves still give you a real workout. The group setting also adds a social aspect, which is great for reducing the isolation that health anxiety sometimes brings. The truth is, the best joint-friendly workout is the one you'll actually stick with. For me, that often means mixing things up so I don't get bored. Some days I'll go for a walk, other days I'll use the stationary bike, and when I can, I'll do a yoga session or some light strength training. The variety keeps it interesting, and knowing that each option is safe for my joints makes it easier to commit. What makes joint-friendly workouts so powerful for managing health anxiety is that they build both physical and mental resilience. Physically, they strengthen muscles, improve flexibility, and support cardiovascular health, all of which protect against injury and disease. Mentally, they create a sense of control. Instead of sitting around worrying about my health, I'm actively doing something positive for my body. Every time I finish a joint-friendly workout, I feel less anxious, more capable, and more confident in my body's ability to handle life. I've also noticed that consistency matters more than intensity. I used to think that unless I pushed myself to exhaustion, I wasn't doing enough. But now I know that even short, gentle sessions add up. A 20-minute walk, a half hour on the bike, or a 15-minute yoga practice. These may not sound dramatic, but over time, they create real change. And because they don't leave me feeling sore or injured, I'm not afraid to do them regularly. That consistency has given me a healthier, steadier mindset. At the end of the day, I've realized that joint-friendly workouts are about more than just protecting my knees or hips. They're about protecting my peace of mind. So if you're like me, someone who wants to exercise but fears injury, I encourage you to explore these kinds of workouts. Start small, listen to your body, and remember that movement is medicine, not a threat. Over time, you'll not only build a healthier body, but also a calmer, more resilient mind.